TV show I saw.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I became quite good friends with Wayne, the original drummer, but I know Matt and Andy as well.
See them at Megadeth? Festival Hall?
Yeah. So
I was there, man.
1991 that was. 1991
yep,
that was.
I was second row. I've still got a guitar pick at home.
Yeah, wow, that's really cool.
Where were you in the room?
Oh, I was right at the front. But, I've stayed with Wayne. Actually, he's in a band called Temptress now. We did a gig with him in Brisbane not that long ago. But they were on the cover of Hot Metal magazine. They were quite popular back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to support a lot of big bands, actually.
Big time.
Yeah.
They were a massive
They
band.
were huge, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of the guitarist's name now, but he ended up on some picture 10 years ago, Australian TV, lots of crappy reality shows. And
know that.
was some sort of wife swap. Actually, that's what it was. A wife swap show with a poor bloody guitarist of Mortal Sin.
Wow.
Had to swap wives with some Richie Rich from the North Shore of Sydney. And it didn't paint him in a good light. He ended up in a good way, but you know.
God, there was Mick Sultana, there was Paul Caruana.
They're all sort of like from Mediterranean sort of.
Yeah, some of the guys are.
Yeah.
Andy Efterchoose, the bass player, he's from Greece.
Yeah.
He's a Greek guy, but I think Matt's a Sydney guy.
Man, great time.
Yeah.
Mortal Sin.
Yeah, no, they were a great band. Yeah.
Megadeth.
Awesome band.
Great band, mate.
Yeah, awesome band. Yeah.
Holy War!
No, good stuff.
I'm just getting excited, mate, because I haven't spoken to anyone about metal for a long time. You know? What's the go with music today?
It's different, that's for sure. I got 4 kids of my own, so they're obviously into. My eldest son is a metalhead like his dad. Yeah, drummer, singer as well. He's right into the whole screaming thing, though. You know,
right?
I don't know, bands with the metal bands in particular. I struggle to get into a lot of the newer bands because it's just not my thing. I guess I'd give me the old thrash bands any day, or wind the clock back to Kiss and those kinds of bands, all those traditional old heavy metal bands, I guess. But I don't know. There's just there's a different vibe about it. Every now and then there's this one that for me poses a bit of a moment of brilliance, you know. But I don't know. I'm still a big fan of the older stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I like what. Have you seen the Lemmy documentary?
I haven't seen the documentary.
It's called Lemmy.
No.
It is great, mate.
Yeah, that would be good.
Made by Dave Grohl, actually.
Okay.
So you know who loves Lemmy.
Yeah,
made this great film about him. But Lemmy says it best. You know, camera to his face. Lemmy, what bands are you into? And you're expecting Lemmy, who's still living the dream, living right there beside the rainbow in LA before he passed away. You know, to answer. But he said it so beautiful, like only he could say.
Yep.
He goes, like the Beatles, stuff that I grew up with. And he said it in a way that you go, yeah, man, when you're young enough, you just fall for that your mind's in the right spot to love this certain thing, and that will be yours forever.
Sure.
And it's kind of hard to latch onto something later. Yeah. You definitely do.
Yeah.
But
that stuff that you grew up with is probably the stuff that tugs at your heart the most, I guess.
Yeah, so for all your son, it's just everything about it is perfect for his world
era.
and his mind.
Yeah, it's his era. Yeah, absolutely.
Wish I was young again. Damn. Yeah. So they have, what's the name of, is he in a band?
Sorry?
In a band, is he?
Cameron, he is in a band, and they're called, oh God, he's got a new band. It's changed a couple of times. Something Violence. Oh God, it'll come to me. Oh God, I've got blank.
You bastard.
I know, that's horrible, isn't it?
I'll have to edit in.
Sorry, son.
I'll have to edit in the name.
Sorry, son. I'm going to have to Google that while we're on air, I think.
Yeah, do it.
I've just gone blank, and I know it all the time.
All right, speaking of Google, I've got the result of that.
Let's Get Violent. There you go.
What a great name.
Let's Get Violent. That's the name of his band.
That's a top name.
It is a top name. Yeah.
That's a great name.
There you go. But they got a Facebook page.
I don't know if you want to wear it on a T-shirt and get around town. Let's Get Violent. Oh, really? Yeah. Ooh, wrong street. Here we go. Tritones.
Found it. Did I know what I was talking about?
These include the use of tritones. How am I going to? Metal foundations, intermediate riff concepts. Last lesson. We're going to dive right into some of the advanced riff components. These include the use of tritones, bending techniques, and the use of palm muted rests to create syncopated grooves. Adding tritones. The tritone is an effective, sinister interval to use in metal riffs at a certain time in classical music history. The tritone, also known as the devil's interval, was discouraged because of its dissonant tonal quality. The tritone is not pretty. I'm wondering which but it's distinctively metal. Bands like Black Sabbath,
Yep.
and I've had 2 beers, listen to me. Black Sabbath and Slayer use tritones frequently to create an evil sound and melodic dissonance. I've got to hear one now. So obviously it's three notes.
There's a classic Black Sabbath song, and I'm just trying to. It might even be the song Black Sabbath. I can't remember now. I'm just trying to remember where I first heard about it. I think it was on like a metal documentary.
Yeah.
And they were all trying to. I guess there was a bit of a debate as to who was the first heavy metal band, and they were trying to work out where the heavy metal sound came from, and that's what they decided it was.
I keep talking,
because it just sounds scary, I guess. Yeah.
I got to take this further. Sorry. I'm the guitar guy that's played music for like 25 years, but never
I've taught you something tonight, have I? Yeah.
Yeah. So now I really want to know tritone metal. Right, we're in YouTube, the flat and fifth, the devil's interval. Here we go. The flat and fifth, the devil's interval.
All right.
That's pretty creepy for a start.
Da, 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 dum, the flatted fifth. This is Colin Daniel from riffninja.com. The flatted fifth. The flatted fifth, man. The devil's chord. The devil's interval. And if you live long enough ago, they'd have hung you for playing that.
Come on, dude.
All right. It's pretty simple, actually. Used a lot in a lot of different ways. I can't really say it can only be used one way, but we'll give you some examples here and show you how it works, and hopefully you'll connect with that. I'm just going to take it in one key for now, but there's
come on.
many keys that you can apply this to. And I'll show you little recognizable riffs that I'm sure you'll
He's got a
recognize
beret on.
now.
It's not a good start. He's wearing a beret, this guy.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
This is A pentatonic minor. That's the blues scale. And in my earlier lessons,
Yeah,
I was
crystal clear.
talking about a chromatic pass note between the 4 and 5. So it's 1, 3, 4, 5. Well, that chromatic pass note between the 4 and 5, that blues note that you hear in blues, like. That chromatic pass note is the infamous.
I'm sure it's coming up,
fifth.
Drew.
It just depends
Please.
on how you look at that.
Punch this guy.
For example, what I'm going to say is, technically, to be correct, the flatted fifth is played off the fifth. So you'd have to go 1, 5, flatted fifth.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Technically a flatted fifth because of the direction I'm going in, right? It's very dark, of course. Right?
All right, so we got that. Okay.
There you go.
Right. So it's more, that. Don't even try, Drew. So it's about playing. I used to get the guy that taught me how to play guitar was a really good AC/DC sort of style dude. Taught me how to play like Malcolm Young.
Sure.
So and I was never technical, but I could play every AC/DC. I felt like Malcolm's my man. Bang bang.
Sure.
But he was also a great jazz musician. So we had this thing going where if we ever had an acoustic guitar, it was like jazz chords. And fast forward 10 years later, I'm in a band with some dudes 10 years younger than me on the Gold Coast here.
That's me right now.
Yeah? Good, mate. Well,
Yeah.
here I am. There's something, playing loud. Yeah. But then I'd sit on the couch and I'd go straight to an acoustic and I'm playing all these jazzy chords.
Yep.
And they were slating me big time
Yep.
about my punsy chords. So I guess these kids knew all about tritones and dark sounding. Well, it's just a bunch of notes. And
Yeah.
how to get that out of you.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick, got the beer and the camera shot there, mate.
Mates. Well, you've taught me.
Taught you something,
Taught you
mate.
something,
The drummer
Jeff.
taught the guitar something tonight. Wow. About guitars.
So you don't have 2 kick drums.
I don't know a double pedal, so
Yeah.
I still get the double. But actually, here's a story for you, I guess, about playing drums. We've got a song called "Walking Dead," which is a very, it's quite a popular song live when we play it. It's on the CD there for you. But there was a part in that when we originally were sort of putting it together that was going to be quite a full-on double bass part. And on that particular night, my left knee kept on locking up on me to the point where I couldn't use it.
In recording.
Yeah, not in recording, just when we were putting the song together. Right. So for the sake of that night, I sort of kind of exchanged a hand part or a bass drum part for a hand part, and it came about with this kind of a swingy sound to it, and everyone's just looking at me going, "That actually sounds pretty cool," and we just kept it, and it's very, very. It's just not something you hear in a metal band. So we've got the song "Walking Dead," which is still a pretty blasting metal song, but it's kind of got this through the verses. It's kind of got this swingy beat to it.
Cool.
And it's catchy as hell. It sounds really, really good.
Cool.
So yeah.
Did you ever see that Metallica documentary though? One of the
Some
first.
Kind of Monster.
No, that which is great.
Yep.
No, before that they the recording of the Black Album.
Yeah, I think I did see that a long time
It was
ago.
on VHS.
Yeah.
By the way, they just anyway. No. Yeah. Well, I had that and I listened to it backwards, and
Yep.
I mean, so many
It was
times.
still backwards.
No, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
that's another metal
There's another
reference.
Topic. Yeah, sure. Yep.
No. I played it so much, and it sort of let me down to know that Metallica had so much money and so much studio time that,
Yep.
and particularly Lars and James Hetfield were so technical, and they were competing with each other.
Yep.
When it came to drumming parts, Lars would record 18 to 30 different fills.
Yep.
Then they'd listen back and choose which fill to use
Sure.
for these great songs.
Yeah.
Which goes kind of against what you've done.
Yeah,
where
sure.
when you stumble across something and you make great music with what you got, and you remember that and you got a cool story about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you would argue, lots of people would say,
Takes the feel away.
when Metallica, it got so big and so much money, that's where their soul left the music.
Sure.
You know,
Exactly.
where they're just creating hits.
Yeah.
Or
Well, they were at that point. I mean, they become very commercial. I mean, it was something, I mean, I can remember when Metallica first started and I loved them. Their first 3 albums will always be my favourite albums by them. But they got that taste of success and, suddenly, they were so.
you can blame them.
Well, well, this is
at the
true.
same time.
At the end of the day, yeah, that's right. Obviously made it very wealthy and they're gigantic now. But, when they first started, they shied away from doing film clips. They didn't want to be played on the radio. And next minute they've got an album where probably, maybe 4 or 5 songs are on the radio. Yeah. And they're gigantic. But, I mean, who knows? You get that gigantic taste of success and it probably, we'd probably also come to that, I guess. So, yeah.
And same, Metallica had that golden time where the only photos I saw growing up as a kid is like James with this great Gibson Explorer.
Yeah.
He had the whole package, the way he stood, the guitar shape,
the
long hair. He was even on a skateboard in the early days. Like, remember that Anthrax era?
Yeah.
A bit of skateboard sort of stuff in the vibe of metal. Like,
them and Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah,
and things like that, sure. Yeah.
And then when you fast forward to Some Kind of Monster, here you saw James, the father of a daughter or two.
Yeah, that's right.
And you'd know as a father, I do, how having a daughter changes. Could you imagine being the king of metal in the world and everyone at your gigs is just looking up to you as like just the tough guy? Yeah. But little girls make you a different dude.
Yeah, they do.
And how do you go and write a metal song now?
Exactly.
And that's why that movie.
Because you don't want her to hear it.
Exactly, yeah. And how do you? That movie was perfect for that, man.
Absolutely.
To see this dude, and he was even a bit chubby, like he. You had the whole dad thing going on, mate.
A lot of tension in that story too. You know, a lot of problems going on.
That's got to be the greatest band thing. Yeah, all that stuff that happened, having that weird. Yeah. And then finding that great bass player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was so damn cool.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's just God. They've had an interesting bass player career in that band. That's for sure. God, first guy died, and the second guy was treated like garbage, and then Rob, the current guy,
Trujillo or something.
Yeah, he seems to be the guy now. So
all right, So what's next?
What's next?
Dirty Brew.
Well, we're just got gigs at the moment and stuff. We're looking hopefully to have a full length album out at the end of the year, all going well. See how we're going for time, but if not, end of this year, early next year, but. That's certainly on the cards. That's something we really want to do. There's actually songs on this EP here, actually, that I'd like to re-record. Whether the other guys are in agreement with me on that, I don't know, but that's for us to sort of sit down and nut out. But because, now, when that was recorded, it was actually recorded as a 4-piece band, and the way we play it live now is the songs are just so much more powerful. And it would be nice to get that on a disc. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's always a way to, isn't it?
Yep.
Again, the Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't done a lot of shows, and the boys in the band